Alright. Avionics on, transponder set to 1200.
Now the other thing that we want to pay attention with transponder is that it's on altitude.
So traffic order AAA turning left crosswind 14 Mansfield.
Around Boston, so that looks good.
Okay.
If you look at the checklist, it'll actually tell you transponder is on standby.
Yeah.
And
usually
just recently what they actually did a year or so ago too is they released an advisory circular, if you've heard of those. They released an advisory circular saying that while we're on the ground, we can leave them on altitude. Their computers are basically smart enough to shut them off now. Because before, they'd have their screen, and if you had it on altitude mode on the ground, all these planes would appear and they couldn't see anything.
Okay.
But now it filters it out for them when you're on the ground. So we can just leave it on altitude.
Gotcha. Alright. Mixture is, we can lean it out to T for taxi.
Alright.
And flaps are down.
Good. Good. I like that you're visually checking them. Perfect.
We don't have ATIS, so we don't need to do that, but we can check field elevation. And we should be around 122. And then now taxi clearance, so say Mansfield traffic, 833 Whiskey Tango. Where do we call this? You said the Academy last time.
Yep.
And we're going to go to probably 14 again.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. And is it just this whole button?
Yeah, you can twist it too if you like it in any other spot.
Okay. Mansfield traffic, Cherokee 833 Whiskey Tango. We are at the Academy, going to taxi to runway 14, Mansfield.
Perfect.
Okay, so traffic, Warrior 888, we have you in sight down there. We're turning a left downwind for 04 the grass, Mansfield.
Alright.
Alright. So that was for us to just be careful with that?
Mansfield traffic, Alonzo 6 Victor, following behind aircraft on downwind for landing 04 Mansfield.
Alright, so what I'll have you do
excellent. We'll tell you how it is.
Pump off, and we'll go ahead. See where the Warrior is right there?
Yep.
You're going to pull up behind him, facing the same way. That's where we're going to do our run-up.
We're going to pull up behind them?
Yep.
Alright. Okay.
Mansfield traffic, Warrior 888, turning left base 04 the grass, Mansfield.
Or since he's moving, you can kind of just go right where he wants.
Mansfield traffic, Alonzo 3 Echo Victor, midfield, downwind 04, Mansfield.
So you want us to go kind of where we were last time, like?
Anywhere in here, just try to
Mansfield traffic, Warrior 888, turning final, runway 04 the grass, Mansfield.
I see.
So you can go nice and straight here and then swing it around and then leave yourself enough room to come back out. The idea is that
Mansfield traffic, Alonzo 3 Echo Victor, turning base 04,
taxiways like
Mansfield.
on top of each other, so you're not really blocking the only hold short line if we do our run up down at 3-2, but over here we're blocking this hold short line, so.
Alright. Okay.
Nice landing.
Okay.
Thanks for waiting, guys.
Alright. Fuel up on flight control, so
what do you think? Before the runway or after the runway? Well, there's geese off the left side, so we landed before, but I'd probably go after. Okay, so traffic, Warrior 888, clear of all runways, Mansfield. Mansfield traffic, Alonzo 3 Echo Victor, 1 mile final, 04 past the runway, Mansfield.
And so we've done so we go mixture rich now?
Yep, and this is where I tell everyone I know it's not on the checklist. If you ever want to mark up your checklist too and stuff, feel free.
Yeah.
But basically, when you put it full rich, this is where we'll switch tanks. So we'll just go rich, fuel pump on, switch tanks, and then shut the pump back off.
Alright, so we'll go mixture rich.
Yep.
Fuel pump off, on, and switch this tank over.
Yep.
And fuel pump off.
Good, and then you can see fuel pressure still reading good, and we're good to go.
Okay. And so 2,000. And...
Oh yeah, I see them geese. I'll go right over the top of them.
Perfect, yeah. Scared us a little bit. So we got...
Well, looks like they're moving. That's good.
Oh yeah. 3 in the green here.
Yep.
Vacuum is at 5.
Good.
We're above 0 there. Speed looks good. The level, it's reading correctly.
Clear traffic, Cisco 144 Bravo Foxtrot.
Heading
5 miles to the northwest. It's going to be entering the 45 for left downwind 6 limit.
And so we'll check the mags.
Yep. Cancel traffic. Rocket 3, Victor, clear of all runways.
Equalize. Check second. Looks about the same to me. They look good.
All right. So how much of a drop are we allowed to have?
Total 175 each.
Good.
50 between them, so they look pretty close. So
Perfect.
I think we're fine.
Perfect.
And then I'll do. This is carb heat.
That's the primer.
That's the primer.
That's good to check though. Give it a tug. Make sure it's locked. There you go.
Okay. So this is carb heat.
Yep.
Carb heat's on. We should get a drop. We do.
Now I might have asked you this before, and you can keep going and bring it back to idle. But why do we see a drop in RPMs when we put carburetor heat on?
We're heating the carburetor. I don't know why we get the drop.
So basically, we get the drop because if you kind of think of like, have you ever looked at density, altitude, and stuff like that yet? Oh.
A little bit.
Yeah, and we'll cover more of that stuff on the ground as well. But basically, what happens to any kind of molecules when you heat them up?
They spread out.
Right, they expand. So when we put that heat on, really what it's doing is it's just opening a valve and allowing warm air that's coming from around the exhaust into the carburetor. Because it's hot, it's less dense. And if there's less air entering the engine, there's a decrease in power and everything. So hot summer days versus cold winter days, the plane's going to perform a lot worse in the hot summer days than it does in the cold winter days and everything. That's because the air is less dense. Those molecules are
Clear traffic, Cisco 144 Bravo Foxtrot. 3 miles to the northwest. Going to be entering the 45. Left downwind.
less air entering the engine, less combustion.
Gotcha.
So that's why we see a drop.
All right.
Cool.
Now
just remember to shut it off now that I distracted you.
Fair enough. All right, so we're good.
Cool.
We'll drop this back down a bit. Keep it 1,000. I think I did this early, but 0. Artificial horizons level. That's reading where we want it. Turn coordinator is level. And then we can correct this to be somewhere. That. Okay. Instruments check. Fuel pump. So we don't need to put the fuel pump back on right now, or
Yeah, we can.
we can?
Yep.
Fuel pump's on.
Because we're just going to be taking off right when we turn around anyway, so.
And so, do we need to set, I mean, last time we set the 430, but to have Mansfield in it, but we don't need to do that.
Right, so we can with this one. If you click enter on this,
Okay.
if you click the button that says nearest right here,
Oh, okay.
it'll say Mansfield right here. Now just click the direct button, which is the D arrow, and then just click enter. Now it's already programmed back to Mansfield. If you want to get a map view on this GPS, click the map button, and now you're here.
Okay.
And if you take this back knob, click it clockwise once.
This guy?
Yep. It'll make it full screen for you. And then if you take the small knob and you twist it to the left, this is your scale, so this is 30 miles. So if you twist it counterclockwise, the small one, you can bring it down. I usually put it around 10 or 15, and then you'll be able to see the Bravo and everything like that, really.
Clear traffic, Cisco 144 Bravo Foxtrot. 3 miles out on the 45 for left downwind.
We're saying that we're a quarter mile from the center, because all of these measure to the center of the airport. So there you go.
Okay.
Now, when you ever want to have it re-sequence again, all you have to do is hit direct, and then it's already at Mansfield.
Hit
Enter. And then you just go back to the map.
Okay. That seems easy.
Yeah, and the good thing is, I forgot that this was your first time in Whiskey Tango, so I apologize, because I would have told you about the little kinks, like the key is a push and this is the lights. But what I like to do is, I'm going to try to keep you in one plane. If the plane ever does go down for maintenance or anything weird like that, I'll put you in this plane, because once I sign you off to solo, these are the exact year, make, model planes. You can solo in both of them, so it's good to get you a little experience in both that way. you know, say you had a cross-country solo or something,
Yeah.
one of the planes hits a 100-hour inspection, I can say, don't worry about it, you'll just take Whiskey Tango.
Sure. That sounds good to me. All right, so we did comms and navs. Doors and windows, we'll close them when we go.
Yep.
Flaps again look good.
Cool.
Trim, where's the...
Up there.
I know it's up here, but how do you know if it's neutral?
Yeah, right here as well.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
I see. Alright, I'll call that neutral. And lights. So up is on these.
So up is your taxi light, which is the nose, and if you push down on it, that's your wingtip one.
Okay.
So those are what we'll leave on for the flight. And then you can also kick the anti-collision lights on now as well.
Cool. Alright. And, alright, I think we're ready to go.
Cool. So give me a... You don't need to make another call if you don't want. You can just do a 180 and taxi up to the hold short line.
Okay.
Now, have you ever taken off from a grass runway before?
No.
You want to?
Sure.
I mean, the winds are...
For the traffic, Melvin, I don't want to
I'd love to, yeah.
down.
You ever practice?
About 4 miles from 80.
Maybe once.
Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of talk you through what we're doing. You might feel me helping you a little, but I'm not going to take the controls from you. I'm going to have you do the takeoff. So, pull forward and take this right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go off that taxiway. We're going to back taxi down the runway, and then we'll take off on the grass. So, here's the gist with soft field takeoffs. What we're going to do is keep full back pressure. You can put 2 notches of flaps in when you're ready.
Alright.
And what we're going to basically do is keep our momentum. We're going to keep full back pressure. When the plane rotates, we're going to let it. It'll be before VR, and it's going to. Ground. Go back to literally like 10 feet off the ground, and just let the plane build up speed. Then we'll climb out at VX. Well, then we'll accelerate to VY and slowly retract the flaps.
Alright.
It's not. It sounds like a lot, but when you go do it, it's really not bad. So, when we come up here, we'll make a call that we're going to cross 32 and 14 and back taxi runway 4. Everything's looking good. I don't see anyone coming on 32 or 14. So if you want to stop, you can, and we will make the radio call. So you're going to say we're Cherokee 3 Whiskey Tangos crossing 32 and 14, back taxiing runway 4 the grass.
So it's Mansfield traffic, Cherokee 833 Whiskey Tango. We are crossing 3214 and back taxiing runway 04.
Yep, and then say 04 the grass. We always say the grass because 4 and 14 sound a lot alike, and 22 and 32 sound a lot alike. So we say runway 4 the grass.
Mansfield traffic, Cherokee 833 Whiskey Tango, crossing 3214, back taxiing to runway 04 the grass.
Good. Now we'll go ahead and do that. We don't see anyone coming into land.
Alright. To the left of that red thing?
The red light. Can you see the red light?
Yeah.
Yep. Go
So,
on.
I see what you're saying.
Yep. There's a big gully right here.
Oh, okay.
That's what we're avoiding.
I see it, yeah.
Cool.
So we're just going to roll right off the runway here.
And what you're going to do is keep full back pressure on the stick now. That's just going to protect the nose gear. So all the way back. There you go. Now see how it's kind of unmode here and mode over here?
Yeah.
Just kind of stay right on the mode section a little bit. There you go. And now just parallel it. This is all the grass runway right here down to 495. So when we're on the grass, we try to use minimal brakes. Just keep the throttle in there to keep us moving. You're going to see you might need a decent amount of it.
Yep.
Let me shut this. Now while you're rolling, just reach down and nice and smoothly pull up 2 notches of flaps. And on a real soft field, picture like this was actually soupy and muddy. We wouldn't want to stop.
Yeah.
We want to keep our momentum. So what I'm going to have you do, and we'll simulate that, is kind of go down the end, and we're going to make a wide turn to our right. And we're just going to keep our momentum. Take back off. Cool, so see that yellow marker kind of straight in front of us?
Sure do, yeah.
That's the edge of it. So what I want you to do is go out past it and come around so we're on this side of it like we are right now. And there's another marker over there somewhere. We're just going to be in between them.
Okay, alrighty.
There you go. Don't be shy with that throttle. Push it right up there. And now we'll look. No one's here, so what you're going to do is keep this turn coming. I'll make the call for you.
All right.
Mansfield traffic, Cherokee 3 Whiskey Tango is rolling runway 04 the grass and departing to the west, Mansfield. Cool, so now slowly just walk it in full throttle. Kind of aim towards that tan house straight ahead.
Yep.
So go full throttle. Keep that stick all the way back though. Keep one hand on the throttle. There you go. Now just literally keep all that back pressure in there. And you're going to see it's now we're riding a wheelie basically. Keep the back pressure a little more to the left. There you go. And then when it rotates, now we're going to push forward. We level off in ground effect like this.
Yep.
Now give it a little more back pressure. Climb out at 65 knots. So keep the back pressure. There you go. Keep it up, up, up. And we're climbing out. Now we're clear of any obstacle. So VX is that obstacle clearance one.
Yep.
That throttle all the way up there. Yeah, good. And now, nice and smoothly push the nose forward. We'll start accelerating to VY. And just smoothly retract the flaps down to 0. That's a soft field takeoff.
All right. That was interesting. It was fun.
Something new.
I liked it. That was cool to take off from the grass.
I figured you'd like it. The winds are straight down that today, so we'll have you climb up like to 700-800 feet, and then you can give me a nice turn off to the west.
Team traffic to Mooney is 12 to the south, 3,400 descending inbound RNAV 2, full stop G.
Yeah, I looked yesterday at the forecast.
West of the traffic said
marginal VFR today.
Down to wind 14, it means a departure on the west of the...
It was weird. I got here this morning, it was completely clear. I went up and all of a sudden it got socked in at like 2,000 feet. We were over at Worcester. And then now it's getting better again.
Huh.
So I'll have you make a call here. What I want you to say is we're on the left crosswind for runway 04 and departing to the west.
Okay. Mansfield traffic, 3 Whiskey Tango on the left crosswind for runway 104, and we're going to the southwest. Mansfield.
Close enough. You'll get the hang of it.
Sorry.
Mansfield traffic, Warrior AAA, taking the runway to back taxi for departure on 04, the grass, Mansfield.
Cessna Amphib, 6 to the north, 1,000 feet inbound to Block Island.
Cool, let's see if we can get up to 3,000.
The traffic Cherokee, the wind with 5 turning, final 14. Team traffic Mooney is 10 to the south. Inbound RNAV 2, full stop.
I wish there was a better way to practice radio calls, like at home.
Well, do you have a sim at home or no?
I do. I don't know how to...
Yeah, you can, there's actually like add-ons for sims you can get where you can actually talk to controllers.
Oh, really?
Like, there's actual controller simulators people have, and they're practicing being controllers on them.
Oh, wow.
And so you can actually, the hard part is at untowered fields.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing for that. The best thing that I'd say you could do is just watch some YouTube videos
Yeah.
on making the calls and stuff, or, you know, write them down and just practice reading them, almost like a script or something like that.
I listen to them all the time.
Yeah.
But I like that ATC app.
Yeah, live ATC.
Yeah.
Block Island traffic, Cessna Amphib, just crossing the north shore. We'll set up for a west downwind for 10 Block Island.
All right,
Mansfield
now that
traffic,
we're up
Warrior
here,
AAA, taking off, runway
everything's looking
04, the grass,
What
will
we
be
want
left
to
down
do now
departure,
is keep the
Mansfield.
fuel pump off.
Alright, fuel pump is off.
Cool. And then we can see pressure's still good, engine's still running.
Close in traffic, Pawnee glider and tow climbing in the downwind for 3-1.
Up on a kind of hazier, lower visibility day like today.
Not like, this is pretty hazy. I
Team
think.
traffic to Mooney is 6.5 to the south, 2,500
I'll show you
descending
something
inbound
at a left
RNAV 2, full
where
stop.
you know, it's marginal or something like that. We'll go out and buzz around for a little while
Alright.
when like 5-6 miles visibility, if it's ever in that nice margin. And you'd be surprised what it actually looks like. Because this is still easily over 10 miles visibility.
Right.
See, you really don't have a horizon or anything like that today. Makes it a little bit more exciting.
Certainly.
Block Island traffic, Cessna Amphib turning left downwind, 10 Block Island.
I know you knew we were going to get up before we hit that runway 3214.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel that today.
And the thing is, if you don't and you do hit it, it's not that big of a deal.
Really?
Mansfield traffic, or 888 turning left downwind 04.
You just hit
to depart the pilot to the south, Mansfield.
So what's going on here?
We're in the clouds. We should probably descend.
Exactly. So let's go ahead down. And the thing is, on days like today, sometimes you get this haziness and you can't really see cloud as well. I don't even know if that technically was even a cloud, but this is kind of what this stuff looks like up here today. Which is why I was
Keen traffic to the east. Or to the
plane you doing.
1,800 descending down line F2 for stop.
It's a lot more difficult for you to see where you're going to position the nose on the horizon and get your sight pictured out.
Right.
I want you to get a good feel for the plane and stuff, so.
Block Island traffic, Cessna Amphib turning left base, 10 block.
So, while we're on the subject of clouds for a little bit, how far do we have to stay away from the clouds legally as VFR pilots?
We should be 500 feet below them, 2,000 feet above them, or 1,000 feet above them, 2,000 feet to the side of them.
Perfect, perfect. Now, who determines how far away you are from a cloud?
You do.
Exactly. So, yeah, that looks like 500.
All right.
So there you go. We'll level it off at 2,500 because we hit them just about 3,000 anyways. And there you go. So, basically, did we end up doing slow flight the first time?
Block Island traffic,
We did.
Amphib turning final, 10 block.
So, go ahead, we'll level it off at 2,500. Well, I kind of went through the pitch, power, trim, and all that stuff with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. So,
Plymouth traffic, Warrior 961 Bravo,
got it
6
leveled out and
Crossman for
everything.
6.
Got it cruised out. And what an examiner is going to be looking for you to do are clearing turns before every maneuver. So, what we'll do is a 90-degree turn to the left or right, and then back to this heading right here. While we're doing that, we'll both be looking outside for traffic and making sure that we don't see any other traffic or anything like that.
Can I trim it just a little bit?
Of course you can.
Okay.
Never have to ask to trim.
Okay.
I want you to always use that. So first, let's bring it right back to 2,500.
Okay.
So just push that throttle back up.
Warrior
and then
61 Bravo,
pitch,
6
power,
down 1
trim it.
uplift.
Trim it for takeoff, trim it for
Traffic 20 center, left downwind, true 1
climbs, descents, always trim it.
Okay.
If you fly a well-trimmed airplane, you'll actually be a much better pilot for it.
I believe that.
So let's bring it right back up to 2,500 before we get it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I meant on the altitude, sorry. There you go.
Traffic 20 space, true 1 down.
Get that climb coming. There you go. And when you get up there, first pitch at level, now adjust your power back to about 23, 2400 RPMs. Hold the nose up while you do it. Keep looking forward.
Yeah.
Kind of listen for that engine to slow down for you every once in a while.
Traffic 20 final, true 1 down.
There you go. Now, go ahead and trim it. Keep looking forward while you're trimming it too, and keep holding that nose right where you want it.
All right.
Like I said, on days like today, it's actually going to be slightly more difficult because we don't have that horizon. But see how your nose is kind of dipping there a little?
Yeah.
So pull it up. So first pull it up with the yoke, hold
Okay.
the pressure where you want it, then go for the trim. Otherwise, if you're just adjusting the trim, you're going to kind of chase it all day long.
And Plymouth traffic, Warrior 691 Bravo is picking up base for...
That's not what I want.
got it trimmed out pretty well right there. So, look, let's go 90 degrees to the right, so like a heading is 030.
All right.
And we'll both be looking outside for traffic. See if you can hold it 2,500 while you do it. Your other right.
What?
I said your other.
Oh, you said right.
Yeah, 030.
That's what I meant to do.
Okay.
And from the traffic, we're 61 Bravo, base and final for 6.
So this should be the beautiful town of Woonsocket.
That's the Woods thingy indicator, whatever it's called.
The what?
Woods is like where they always are reporting that they're at Woons.
Oh, it probably is.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll look on my chart.
I was talking to someone about that the other day.
That's like, a lot of these, the actual controllers local in the area get to name the fixes.
Right. There's Bosox.
Exactly.
Yeah. Celtics too, I think.
Yeah, and there's one called Spags, and Spags used to be a town in Worcester, and it's literally right over Worcester.
Traffic, white slider is 2 miles.
It should be one. Good, now go 90 degrees back to the left, so heading is 300, and we're both going to once again be looking outside for traffic. If we don't see anyone, we'll start doing some maneuver.
All right.
Kind of some weird little clouds. Strange day. Almost looks like a day you would expect to have a thunderstorm.
Yeah. I think, well, I guess not today, but...
No, originally they were saying it, but now they're not.
What is it, altitude? Well, we're going...
Oh, here's some rain.
Yeah.
Ever flown through the rain before?
No.
Alright, so that all should be rain right here. Go right for it.
Alright.
See what it looks like. It's not bad, but see how you can tell where it looks like the clouds almost touching the ground right there?
Yeah.
That's what rain looks like from the air.
Huh.
And rain isn't anything bad for the plane. It's not anything against VFR regulations or anything, as long as you can keep your distance clearances through it. I mean, there have been days where I've been up flying around all day with people. Another little random question is, do you know what we call it when the rain evaporates before it hits the ground?
That's Virga.
Good. I might have asked you that last time.
I think you did. My dad always used to tell me about Virga. We'd drive to Flagstaff, Arizona. You could see thunderstorms out in the distance.
Oh,
and you'd
that's
see
awesome.
the Virga.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You'll encounter it while flying sometimes and stuff. You'll take off and start climbing and it's raining and you get down lower, it stops and stuff. But while we're moving this way, we'll start setting this plane up.
So I've lost 200 feet. Is it, I mean, I feel like...
So let go right now, just literally let go for a second, see what the plane does. See, it's actually trimmed out pretty well. We might just have a very slow descent in there.
Yeah.
You can see, so if it does that, just pull it up a little, and literally a little motion like that could even be too much sometimes.
Huh.
And stuff, and just making small little curves.
Plymouth traffic, we're 61 Bravo.
Let's go ahead and hold 2,300. Let's set it up for some slow flight.
Okay.
So, kind of think just like, when are we ever in slow flight?
Well, we're approaching the runway.
Exactly. So that's why it's called the landing configuration. That's what we're going to put the plane in. So we're actually going to simulate like we're literally coming in for landing. So you're going to kick the fuel pump back on.
Fuel traffic, flight of 2 RVs going to be crossing overhead 2,200 feet from the southeast to the northwest, currently 5 miles out.
We're just going to walk.
Okay, Plymouth traffic, we're 61 Bravo, downwind.
So we can go first flaps?
Yep, in the wide arc. Now, while you're doing this, just keep your nose up. See how we're losing a little bit of altitude?
Yeah.
You're going to need to be at a nose-high attitude for this.
Right.
There you go. Now get the second notch. Good. And now the third notch. Perfect. Now, put that power back in. That's going to help hold your altitude for you. Typically around 2,000 should hold it for you. And now, adjust that trim. Make your life easier for yourself. Well, looks like the rain actually kind of stopped. There you go. So in slow flight, what do we use to control altitude? What do we use to control airspeed?
Pitch for airspeed, power for altitude.
Perfect. Perfect. All I want you to do right now is keep me at this altitude, keep me on this heading. We're going to keep moving this way. That cloud looks about 500 feet. We're good. You ever been in a cloud before?
No, this is basically the first time. I mean,
Field traffic, flight of 2 RVs flying overhead, 2,400 feet.
so we're at 70. I mean, is this technically...
Well, traffic
you're at 70 miles an hour here.
I see.
is overhead field, about 3,000 feet. Circling out towards the east for a left downwind departure, landing to runway 14.
Right now we're VFR, and I'm literally going to take you in a cloud in a second, let you see what it looks like for real life. I think everyone, I do it with every student, just don't like go tell the FAA that I did it with you or anything.
I won't tell the FAA.
But that's really about it. Clouds aren't bad, the only thing is you got to trust your gauges, not your body on what it feels like. We'll do a little more slow flight, and like I said, on the way back I'll actually pop you in a cloud for a little bit. I like doing it, especially on days like today where we know it's safe in the area, where we'll be able to get in for a second. And then come right back down. It gives you the experience, it kind of lets you know why we're practicing that stuff, why we're practicing hood work and doing all that stuff. All right, good. What I want you to do now while we have the room is give me a climb to 2,500. Now, what do you notice about the controls of the airplane while we're in slow flight?
Pretty mushy.
And why is that?
Less airflow over the surfaces.
Perfect. Perfect.
You say 2,500?
Yep.
All right.
Now what I want you to do is give me a right turn to a heading of 330.
All right turn.
Good, just like you are, you want to take it nice and smooth and slow while you're in slow flight. Now, the real reason we practice slow flight is just to get you a feel for how the airplane's going to react when you are coming in on landing, and everything shows that you have control of the airplane and you understand how it's kind of changed up a little bit, because normally when we want to speed up and cruise flight, we're just going to add more power.
Right.
If we want to, change our altitude, we're just going to change our pitch. It's a little different when we're in this configuration. The plane reacts to your inputs different. Cool. So, basically, let's see, give me a descent back down to 2,300 now. Slow flight's to simulate controlling the airplane in a landing configuration. So what do you think a recovery from slow flight is simulating?
Recovery. So if we need to basically get up and away from the runway.
Right. And what do we call that?
Go around.
Exactly. So the way an examiner will have you do it is recover from slow flight on the same altitude. So you'll be pushing throttle and letting the nose forward, slowly retracting.
Traffic Command T94, 80 pop.
But one thing that I
to
like
the
to show
north.
everybody, see how much trim you got in here, which is great. That's what you want, and literally you want to have it trimmed like this when you're coming in for landing as well. It's going to make the flare and everything a lot smoother. But my controls for 1 second.
Your controls.
My controls. You just got to be ready for the fact that if we go full throttle and we don't touch anything, what's going to happen is that nose is going to really want to start picking itself up here like this. If we don't do anything, it's not as aggressive right now. I'm not going to do the aggressive version of this because we're lower to the ground, but you'll see it's going to want to kind of start dipping and tipping and all that stuff. So you got to be ready for two things. You got to be ready for the nose to come up and have that pressure, and you got to be ready on the rudder pedal as well, because you're going to have that P factor trying to move you around.
1 minute power, 1 minute power. Don't worry, Ellington approaching 5 below your track. Ellington, Scott Evers, 1 minute, 14.5, use caution.
If I keep pulling it, I'll show it to you sometime. It'll literally just kind of, you'll wing over and you'll go down. It's fun, but not fun when you're over the ground. So
Yeah, right.
your controls.
My controls.
Your controls. You can keep us going.
All right.
And cool. So what I'll have you do is see if you can recover on 2,300 feet. So just push that throttle in. Now you're just going to slowly keep on focusing on holding your heading and altitude while we gain speed, and you can get that first notch of flaps out of there. Bring it down to the second notch. might be the first, but that's
yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I think I might have passed one.
That's all right. That's it right here. Now, from the second notch, what I tell everyone is that when you recover, keep pushing that nose forward. See how we're climbing?
Yep.
So push that nose forward first. There you go.
I see, yeah.
Yep, now get that trim out of there. There you go. The other thing that I show people is when you go to recover the rest of the flaps now, just push the button and hold it in and just walk it nice and smooth and slow like this. Because if you dump them quick, just like poof,
we'll drop.
you're just basically, you're going to lose that little bit of lift and everything good. So now what I'll have you do is give me a right turn. You can walk that throttle back out now, cruise it back out, shut the fuel pump off. We'll wait till we have a little bit more room to practice some of the stalls and some stuff that I want to show you with the plane.
Sure.
So now just hit the direct button on there because we got Mansfield in. And if enter, perfect. And then the map button again, it'll bring you back. And there you go, here's the little line. So if you want to give me a right turn, we'll shoot it back over into Mansfield. What's the temperature up here? 75, that's nice. Alright, so see these little clouds up here?
Traffic.
So give me a decent little climb. 41 with 3, go full throttle. And just kind of give her a climb up. Now, have you done any hood work yet? Nope. Nope, okay. So, here's the little gist of it, because I'm going to be helping you through it. I just want you to
Okay, thanks a lot for your help today. We appreciate it.
Get in there.
You're welcome. You guys are...
Our body can't tell what level is without a horizon. We're not made to be moving three-dimensionally, so our body gets a little confused. What you'll see is you might feel like you're banking to the right or to the left or pitched up or down. You might feel like you're perfectly level. But when you look at your gauges, they might say something totally not what your body's telling you. And what you got to learn to do practice is to trust the instruments more than you're actually trusting what your body's telling you. That fluid in our ears doesn't work. Because we could be in a bank, and as long as we're staying still in the bank, our body, the fluid will stop moving. It's like, oh, this is level. And it's going to start feeling level, but the gauges will actually indicate that we have a slight bank in there.
And Plymouth traffic, where is Bravo sticking downwind to 6 Plymouth. Mansfield traffic, Warrior 659, entering 45 downwind for runway 14 Mansfield.
Is that your other plane?
Yep.
I forgot, last time we went up, I was listening to the radio calls.
Yep.
My old instructor was
gliders on a twin.
landing.
Well, 5 miles west inbound for
Get a little bit back on course. And
Oh, yeah.
if you don't mind me asking, who was your old instructor?
So I kind of had two. Like, I really liked this guy named Brett.
Yep.
You know Brett?
No, I've never heard of him. I'm just saying.
I liked Brett. He was really, everybody must have liked Brett. He was very difficult to schedule.
Yeah.
So then I went with this guy named Jake.
Plymouth traffic, good afternoon. This is a Falcon 2000 coming into the airport for visual runway 6 at Plymouth.
You know, I just didn't have any
Plymouth traffic,
rapport with them.
And that's something you do want to have.
That's right.
I tell everyone all the time, too, like...
Okay, we'll keep an eye out for you. And this is Falcon 10 Charlie Tango.
Switch or
How powered are you, sir?
This is what it looks like to be
About 10 miles.
flat, basically.
Yeah.
To lose their horizon and all that good stuff.
What direction
You're
you
going
coming
to
from?
see
We're coming up from Logan
we got
area.
a couple of little bumps because we're at the bottom of the cloud. That's all very typical of clouds. If you look, we're already in a 12-degree bank there about. So try to hold it neutral. What you want to do is look at those gauges and stuff just like that. And this is the gist of flying through the cloud. Now, if you were up here by yourself and this happened, you don't want to descend back down.
Anyone in the batter?
Because you don't know where that bottom is, right? And look, this is what it looks like to be in and out of the clouds. It's what we call cloud surfing.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is. But we know the bottom is safe. We've already checked the air.
Traffic, white glider, 1 base 31, then
Give me a little descent, so bring that throttle back. give me a slight right turn. See how far we got off course there real quick?
Yeah.
It's fine, and that's why they want you to have all that training for the instrument rating and everything. And the reason they require 3 hours towards the private pilot is VFR into IMC conditions like this right here is actually the #1 leading cause of plane accidents in the United States.
Huh.
So they want you to just have some practice, so that way if you're ever in the clouds...
County traffic, 342, 9 Tango Sierra, we're on a short final 01.
Give me a nice slight turn to the left, heading up.
Yeah, full of traffic. Falcon's turning we're about 7 miles out, turning a left base to final for 6.
Pull that power back a little bit more.
Yeah, so traffic,
We're just going to let the plane make a nice
659, turning
sink.
east runway 14,
We actually came out on top of this little cloud layer that we're on.
Westerly traffic, 470, turning left, cross runway 14.
Watch your gauges there. See that attitude? See how quickly you can get off in the cloud?
Crazy.
And you'll see, that's why we got to practice under the hood and everything.
Right.
Imagine you didn't have
Falcon's
any training.
turning a 5-mile final, runway 6
You
at
didn't know how
Plymouth.
to read or interpret any of those gauges. You could find yourself in a pretty sticky situation pretty quick.
You'd be flipped over. I'd be flipped over pretty quick, I feel like.
And, you know, this is literally how JFK crashed. Or not JFK, but was it his brother?
Well, his son.
His son, yes. I always mix up which
Yeah.
one it was, but this is literally why he crashed.
He wasn't supposed to be in this, and
Yeah, an instructor offered to fly with him, his instructor, and he said, oh, no, it's okay, I can do it, and he went up. He got into what we call a graveyard spiral, which is you don't notice that you're in a bank, you see your altimeter start to unwind, so your reaction is going to be to pitch up, right? So when you start pulling back on that stick and you start pitching up and you're in a bank, you just hit an accelerated stall. Your stall speeds increase with your bank angle.
yeah.
And so he hit an accelerated stall. And
Ellington traffic, free fall 2, 9 Tango Sierra, 1,200 on a left
I like
cross, one correction, right cross, one
you know, we put the hood on to tell you, you don't want to get yourself into the cloud and stuff. Now you actually can see how much it really affects your flying and everything, and you know why we are doing it and practicing it.
At least the last, 30 seconds in there, though, I feel like I was
Start
able
to get a
I
feel,
just,
yeah,
stared at this, and
There you go. So now keep us on course. We'll go down to about 2,000 feet, and then we'll cruise at that altitude back over to Mansfield.
alrighty.
Westerly traffic, 470, turn 1 mile final, runway 14, for landing.
I know we had kind of talked about it, but I really like flying this plane better than the Cessnas.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but
They're a little more stable, and for some people, it's just the feel of one plane over there. They just grasp it a lot better.
Huh.
There's some people that, you know, they get in a Cherokee and just totally don't like it, like a Cessna. And me, it's got an engine and wings. I'm down to try it at least, you know.
I didn't dislike the Cessnas.
Exactly. It's a very nice airplane. I like it. Just needs a little TLC is all.
That's fine. I like that. I like the idea of working on an airplane, and I think that's cool.
Well, that's why we got this one.
Yeah, so traffic, Warrior 659, actually back to 14 for the
It's absolutely great. You know, it's not too bad to have it like this and fly it. And it's still got a GPS and everything, and we can put some small upgrades in it as we go.
Yeah.
Same thing with, you know, if you're ever looking into buying your own airplane, a lot of the money truly is avionics.
Yeah.
And stuff, you know. That's like when people ask me, oh, how much does it cost to buy an airplane? I'm like, I've seen someone buy it for $15,000 and they buy the exact same airplane for $500,000.
Right.
It depends what you have in the cockpit.
Yeah.
Cool. So, let's see if we can hold, what are we at, 1,700? See if you can hold 1,700 and keep us right on course the way back. Try to trim it out, get the plane flying real nice.
Alright.
Now, flying through the clouds, I can legally do it with you. Technically, we're supposed to be on an instrument flight plan.
Right.
Talking ATC and stuff. The idea is we can't see traffic. We want to be making sure that we're in communications with someone who can sequence us. And we'll hit the maneuvers and that kind of stuff. We'll start hitting some landings, and I'll save the hood work for when you're at the stage where we're kind of just hammering in some landings to get you to solo. And say the winds are just kind of stronger one day.
Yeah.
Or it's not going to be too beneficial to practice line. We'll come up and we'll do some hood work that day.
Awesome.
What I typically like to do is get a little bit of hood work in before you do cross country and all that stuff. So that way, if you ever did find yourself in the clouds, you have some experience with knowing how to read the gauges, that kind of stuff. And but I save a good chunk of the hood work for your night flight. We like to try to do the night all in one night.
Yeah.
It's a 3-hour flight. You can do your cross countries, 10 landings, at Mansfield, pretty much right on the money.
659 crossing 422
doing it all in one nice flight, and you're going to be staring at the gauges practically the whole time, because once again, you're not going to have a horizon and this and that. That's typically where I put the hood on you, because you're already looking at the gauges. Might as well get credit for looking at them in that situation.
I've done one night flight before. It was awesome.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so it was a real nice clear day. It was great.
There you go. Now just watch the altitude a little. When you see it descending like that, give it a little back pressure. Just bring it right back up to 1700. Now, I was going to mention this to you before slow flight. I distracted myself a little and forgot to, but when an examiner's looking for maneuvers, have you ever heard of the word SOTA in relation to maneuvers?
No.
So it's what an examiner's grading you on is SOTA. And what that stands for is smoothness, how smooth you can get in and out of the maneuver. So like, literally, I could cut this power back, pitch the nose up pretty hard, and slap 40 degrees of flaps in within tolerances, but we're going to be like, boom, bouncing around. It's not going to be too comfortable.
Yeah.
So they want it, just like you did today was perfect. Slow it down nice and smoothly and in segments, put the flaps in and stuff. So that's the S, and then the O is orientation, meaning are we staying within our tolerances? Are we staying plus or minus 100 feet? Are we staying plus or minus 10 degrees on our heading?
Yeah.
All of that good stuff. And the last one, the D and the A, are division of attention. Are you looking outside? Are you checking the gauges? Are you scanning for traffic? Because they don't want to see you like this the whole time, looking at those gauges as a VFR pilot. They want to see that you're looking outside. You can do literally every single maneuver, every single landing without any of these gauges entirely in these planes, if you know what you're looking for and everything. So that's what we're going to be practicing and working on, is getting your sight picture down on what you're looking for within those maneuvers and everything like that when we're up here in this plane.
National traffic, Warrior 659, departing runway 14, steering in the pattern 1.
What field was it you were flying out of before? Was it
Norwood?
Or Norwood? Okay, yeah, that's right. So you're somewhat familiar with the local area and stuff like that?
A little bit, I guess, yeah.
One thing you definitely want to be doing while we're out here on the lessons is kind of, and I tell you, it's going to be different for every person. Some things that I might use as a visual reference point, you might not like, or you might not recognize. So kind of just, as we're flying around, always look around and take a look at, oh, okay, there's that big blue building. I know we're about 10 miles to the west of Mansfield now. It's next to the water tower and stuff like that. So find, some reference points for yourself that'll work that you can use to help you in case you ever did get, say that you were out here solo and then you lost satellite on the GPS for some weird reason. You have a lot of landmarks and stuff. You're going to be around this area a lot, so if you pick up on them, it'll help you.
Gotcha.
Like some of them that I use, for example, are, if you see that big green field right there, it's got solar panels on it. That's about 7 miles, I believe, from Mansfield, and 495 is right next to it. So if we literally flew right over that and followed 495, we'd end up right back in Mansfield, right over the airport.
Yeah, okay.
And then Gillette Stadium's about our 10, 11 o'clock over there.
I've done a flyover of that. That was cool.
You watch football?
I'm not a big football fan.
It's still cool to fly over,
Of course.
Either way. Kind of amazing how big those stadiums and stuff are.
Oh, I used to be an architect, so I appreciate stadium design.
What's surprising to me is because typically our intro or discovery flights, the half-hour flights, I take people over Gillette Stadium, somewhere local to go, something cool to see while you're up there. They pretty much have the big screen on all the time. I've never not seen it on.
Might as well get their money's worth for that thing.
And when they have concerts there, like when Metallica was playing, they never put a TFR over it.
Oh, wow.
I went and flew over Metallica that was playing and stuff. It's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
But it's weird. I've seen some concerts have TFRs and some not.
Warrior 659 turning crosswind runway 14.
They forget to publish it.
Black Island traffic, Island 5 northwest, inbound for left base, 10.
TFR, it's pretty much every football game always is.
At Fenway, every game is.
Yeah. Alright, cool. So we're 8 miles, 7 miles-ish to the west right now. So what I want you to do, we're going to come in, we're going to land on the grass as well. So what I want you to do right now is just say, we're 7 miles to the west, inbound for runway 4, the grass.
Okay. Mansfield traffic, Cherokee 833 Whiskey Tango. We are 7 miles to the west and going to land on 14 the grass, 04 the grass, Mansfield.
There you go. And see, I'm telling you, that's why we say the grass.
Yeah.
Because 4
Mansfield traffic, Warrior 659 on downwind runway 14, Mansfield.
So if you look straight ahead of us, or about our 1 o'clock-ish.
Laconia traffic, Mansfield 2710 Sierra is to the city, will be inbound to the left on 26, 45.
Yeah, okay.
So if you want, point me straight at that pond, right towards the middle of it. What we're going to do is we're just going to enter on a base for runway 4. We'll go base, final.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Now the grass landing, and here's the little gist of, kind of remember how I was talking to you about how we like to teach with the blinders and taking off? The grass is pretty dang hard packed right now, so don't worry about if this is an actual soft field or not, but we're going to treat it like it is right now, pretend it is. So on a soft field landing, all we want to do is make the landing soft. Full flaps, make the landing soft, keep the nose up, and when we land, just let it roll its energy out, not hit the brakes, and keep full back pressure on the yoke. That's really about it for a soft field landing. So we'll actually have you bring it in over the grass, and you'll feel I'm going to help you a little bit if we need to, and I'm just going to have you doing the most of it. We're just going to try and...
Unicom, this is Cessna 48990, radio. Laconia traffic, land here 27 Tango Sierra is directly over the city, and left downwind 26 Laconia.
So now, when we get about 4 miles out, what you're going to do is say we're 4 to the west, we're going to enter a left base for runway 4 on the grass.
Alright.
Go ahead whenever you're ready with that one.
So we're 4 miles to the west, going to enter left base for 04 the grass.
Yep.
Mansfield traffic, Cherokee 659 turning base, runway 14, Mansfield.
Mansfield traffic, Cherokee 3 Whiskey Tango. We're 4 miles to the west. We're going to enter our left base for runway 04 the grass, Mansfield.
Perfect. So now we'll start slowing it down. I was going to have you switch tanks, but don't worry about it. Today was a shorter flight. And,
Mansfield traffic, Warriors 659 turning final, runway 14, Mansfield.
So what you can do though is we'll kick the fuel pump on. Got traffic on final for 14. He's right over these, like the mall area right here. You can see that little white dot below the, between the mall and that water tank. You'll see a little white dot moving.
I got him.
So what I want you to do here is make a call. Say we're on a 3 mile left base for runway 4. You have landing traffic in sight.
Mansfield traffic, Cherokee 3 Whiskey Tango. We're on a 3 mile left base for runway 04 the grass. We have landing traffic in sight, Mansfield.
Good. Now, one other little thing is try not to get too distracted with the call where you're dropping
a lot of altitude.
Exactly. I was actually letting you go on purpose just so you could see how quickly the plane can move on you. Especially these planes. They really are truly rocks with wings. Like the Warrior glides so much better because it's got the longer wingspan.
Yeah.
Cool. So slow it on up. We'll bring it back to like 2,200 RPMs-ish. Keep the nose up. Once we get in that white arc.
Plymouth traffic, Skyline 2 Sierra Juliet is 5 miles to the west. We're setting up for 45 to the downwind to 6.
First flaps?
Yep. And you could even get the next flap in if you want.
Perfect. Second.
Cool. Now start bringing that power back. Actually, you're pretty good. And go ahead, make your call and turn in for final.
Mansfield traffic, Cherokee 3 Whiskey Tango, turning final for runway 04, the grass, Mansfield.
Good. Now see those little two yellow pegs kind of towards more towards us on the grass runway? We're going to aim before those. Like, see where the fence is with the tree, kind of shrubs growing up in it?
Yep.
Literally right now I want you to aim for those. And then we're going to aim halfway between the fence and those yellow pegs. That way by the time we come down and we flare out, we should be touching down somewhere near those yellow markers.
Alright.
Now get the last notch of flaps in there. And what you're going to do is bring that power back even more. Start letting it come down.
Mansfield traffic, Warriors 659, clear runway 14, Mansfield.
Good. We're going to let it slow down to about 65 knots-ish.
659, taxiing back to runway 14 for departure, Mansfield.
Just make it quick the other way. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. There you go. Now put your hand on the throttle. Give it a little bit of throttle. Right there. Perfect. Now right here, cut the throttle back all the way. Just let that nose forward. Keep it forward. Now nice and smooth, slowly. Beautiful. Now hold that picture. Just hold it. That's it. Keep it back. Now just let it roll straight across.
Okay.
And just, if you're ever going to, you can hit the brakes a little bit on the grass. Just don't ever hit the brakes while you're coming up onto the pavement. And see, you might bump a little. That's about it.
Okay, that's not, I thought it would be like a whole thing.
No. So there you go. Now give me a left turn here. I don't know how this goofball decided to park his plane like that, but whatever.
Village traffic, Skyline 2 Sierra Juliet is turning on to the 45 towards that left downwind.
This is that prop and everything.
Keeping us off our wheels as much as possible.
Yeah. Now go ahead, we'll pull up to the pump, we'll get some gas. I don't know why that guy did that. Maybe he was trying to keep it with the wind or something, I don't know. Not gonna pretend to know either.
Is that good?
Yep.
Alright.
Alright, and...
Okay.
Believe you want.
Is it on the backside?
Yeah, it is. Where are you?
We can take the flaps out.
I'm heading back to the hangar there. Oh, that's doesn't seem to go over 35.
Extra master key.
I didn't hear you.
Electrical first, you can turn the pump off. You can flick that white switch right here up once, that'll shut the landing lights off. Turn the anti-collision lights off. Turn the radio off. Keep